Guys, I'm Dr. Joe Brown. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of do a how-to video or why you want to use the SD501 alkaline water machine from Kangen. Why I have not only this unit in my office, but I actually have another unit in my house. So what I want to do here today, just so that many people ask me, why do we want to use the Kangen unit versus different machines out there? Why do we want to spend the dollar amount on this one versus some of the competitors that are a little bit cheaper? And quite frankly, why did I, Dr. Brown, for both my office and my family, why did I choose to use these machines? So what I'm going to do here with you is I'm going to walk you through, and this is most likely going to be a two-step or three-step video process here. So you're going to want to look for video number 2, video number 3 here, because I'm going to try to take my time and walk you guys through why we're using, what functions we're using, how this works, how the setup goes, and everything else, okay? So let's get started here. So the first thing that I'm going to describe to you is when you purchase one of these machines, okay? And the machine that I have, this is an SD501. It's from Enagic. It's the Kangen alkaline water machine, okay? So literally, there's nothing that you need to hook up anywhere. You don't need to call out a plumber, a mechanic, or anything like this. You're going to plug it into whatever outlet, which is right here, and then it comes with about 16 or 17 different attachments that will hook up to any faucet, okay? Even those faucets, some of those new faucets that pull out, there are attachments that myself and my patient care coordinator has that we can actually hook right up to this for you, okay? So bottom line is there's no mechanical stuff to get done. There's no hooking things up underneath the sink or anything like that. You literally plug the machine in, and it comes with about 16, 17, 18 different attachments that enables you to hook this up right to the faucet, okay? So let's get started here. When you turn the water on at your sink or your garage or your bathroom or wherever you're going to put this, most people just put it on their kitchen counters, you can still wash your hands, do dishes, things like that. As you can see, I've still got water coming out below here, okay? Now, when I want to use the actual machine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this from tap water, I'm going to turn this up to ion, okay? At the same time, I'm pressing the power on. And what this is doing here is this is actually pushing water from the sink here into the machine. The water is going through this filter 3 or 4 different times. And as you can see here right on the machine or right on the filter, it was going to take out your lead, your chlorine, your heavy metals, pesticides, different organic compounds that obviously we don't want to be drinking. Okay, that's the reason why nobody wants to drink tap water. So after the water goes from your tap into this filter a number of times, back behind this area of the machine, there is 7 ionizing plates. And these plates, and this is one of the key components of why I purchased this machine and not one of the other ones, is in this machine there are 7 ionizing plates about this size in diameter, okay? So what you need to remember is that this water is going from this tap into this filter here. It's passing through this filter a number of times, and then that water is passing by these ionic plates, okay? Which is literally just the machine that's plugged into the electricity, which is causing a positive surge on one side and a negative surge on the other side of those plates. It is passing water up and down each side of those 7 ionizing plates, okay? So what you're going to do here is you're going to run the water, and I like to run the water just a little bit slower, because the slower you run the tap water, the slower it is going through that filter, which means the slower it's passing all of those ionizing plates, okay? This side of the plate that has a positive charge is pulling negative ions in this direction, and this side of the plate that has a negative charge is pulling positive ions towards that direction. What that's doing is when the water is passing by these plates, it's pulling positive ions in one direction and negative ions in the other, okay? Why is that important? That is how you get alkaline water out of this spout, and if you can see this spout here, which is running down the drain, this is the spout that releases the negative ion water or the acidic water, okay? So the negative ion water comes out of this spout right here, and the positively charged ions that are being pulled in the other direction that water comes out of this spout, and this is where you're getting your alkaline water at, okay? Now, if I can have you zoom in here for a quick second at the different medical grades of water. You have 6 different medical grades of water right here, okay? Now, we have 9.5 water, which is very alkaline. 9.0, 8.5, we have what's called for medication, or a pH of 7.0. We have a beauty care water, which is at pH 6.0, and we have a pH 2.5. This is the very acidic water, which eventually comes out of this spout down here that I was pointing to earlier, okay? So essentially, again, why do most people want to buy this machine? Why do people talk about drink alkaline water for cancer patients, for people who are run down, or quite frankly, anybody? These are some of the things that we're going to go into here in a second. So the first thing I wanted to kind of show you here in video number 1 is what machine did I use and why, and how easy is it to literally hook this machine up and to get this working, okay? So I'm Dr. Joe Brown. This is step 1, or part 1 of this video series, where we're going to do this in kind of a couple different series here, okay? So this is part 1 of that. Don't forget to subscribe, and you'll get all my daily free videos, including the ones that are coming after this. And check out part 2, because I'm going to actually go into the specifics of the water and why you want to use alkaline water versus acidic water, and when's the proper time to use each one of them, okay? So again, I'm Dr. Joe Brown. Guys, Dr. Joe Brown. So this is step 2, or part 2 of this alkaline water conversation of why are we using this machine, what's the differences in the medical grade of water. As you can see from video number 1, I have not shut the machine off. I'm picking right back up of where we left this here, okay? But it's easier to do this kind of in sections so that if you miss something, you can go back and watch whichever video you need to, okay? So part 2 of this video here, if you can kind of zoom in here for me, if you notice I'm running this still on pH 9.5, you can see by that little indicator light. And up here, you notice it says Kangen, okay? Which means this arrows that are going this way is telling you that the machine is on, okay? So what we're going to do here, let's zoom out here for a second. What I want to show you here is, this is your pH chart. You can see by the green area where it says 7.0, that's neutral. If you go to the left, that's acidic, down here in this orange area. And if you go to the right, heading up towards the blue and the dark purple, that's alkaline. This is where you want to be, no matter what you're dealing with, or quite frankly, if you're dealing with nothing. So I use this in my office for cancer patients and chronically ill people all the time. But I also use this for myself, my family, and everybody else. I want you to get away from drinking bottled water or reverse osmosis water, because that stuff lies down here in this orange category, okay? And the thing that I want you to remember, and I don't want you to kind of stare at this pH chart too long here, but the point I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter if you have a health condition going on or you don't have anything going on, you have to quit drinking reverse osmosis or purified water. Because what purified water is it's water coming out of some tap, okay? It is not coming out of some beautiful glacier mountain with ice caps on it from Colorado or Siberia, Russia, or somewhere else. It's coming out of the tap water of Arizona, California, New York, or wherever else, where we know, and you can look this up online from the government's websites, that the chemicals that are in the water, the chlorine count that's in the water, is super, super toxic, and you don't want to be drinking it, okay? So when you go to the grocery store, or you pay for Dasani water, Arrowhead water, Perrier water, or any of the other waters that are out there, or you're buying these 5-gallon jugs for your office or for your home that is this reverse osmosis filtered water, it makes no difference of what company it's coming from. Once you do reverse osmosis to a water, you are pulling all the electrolytes and minerals out of the water, which is dropping it from 7.0 all the way down here into this orange category. Why is that super bad for you? Because when you are pulling out all of those electrolytes and minerals out of your water, and you're drinking this water on a daily basis, you are leaching the minerals right out of your bones out into the bloodstream. And if you do this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you are depleting yourself of electrolytes, which means you're dehydrating yourself. You're also going to cause osteoporosis. And when you are drinking an acidic pH of water, and here's the key, The more things you do in life that causes your body to go acidic, you are putting your body at direct risk for bacterial infections, viral infections, fungal infections. Immune system does not work as well when you are acidic. You're putting yourself at direct risk for cancer. You're putting yourself at direct risk for osteoporosis, as well as a host of other conditions. So bottom line is, I don't care what water you're drinking, quit drinking reverse osmosis purified water. It's bad for you, okay? A year and a half ago, the front page of the New York Times showed how bad reverse osmosis water was. You can, again, look this up online. How bad reverse osmosis water is and why you shouldn't be drinking it, okay? So now that I've explained the pH chart for you, let's actually test this water. So as you can see here, for the last couple minutes, I've been running this on 9.5 water. I'm going to take this cup, which is just a clear cup here, and I'm just going to fill this cup here with 9.5 pH water, okay? I'm going to shut the machine off completely. And as you can see, the machine self-cleans itself. So when you purchase this, there's very minimal cleaning, if any, that you need to do to this, okay? So as you can see, I just put 9.5 water in here. I'm shutting this off for a second. This is pH test liquid drops, just like you check any pool water, hot tub water, or any pool water with to test the pH. I'm putting one drop into there. And you can see here, see how nice and dark purple that water is there? If you look at the pH chart, which I was just showing you here, now I was running this pH on 9.5 water, if you look right here. I was running that on 9.5, as you can just see here, because I never shut the water off here. And if you zoom in here on this pH chart, technically we should be in the blue area, since I was running this in 9.5. But as you can notice, I ran this water a little bit slower. And if you look at the color of that water, what color is it? It's purple, which means it's actually in the 10.0, 10.5 region of pH, okay? Very, very alkaline. This is exactly what you want to be drinking. Every time you drink water, you're going to steam your vegetables, you are going to make something, any food that you're cooking with, anytime you're using water, anytime you're drinking water, you want to be drinking alkaline water, not neutral, and definitely not acidic reverse osmosis purified water, okay? So let me dump this out here for a second, and we're going to cap up this video here. I'm just going to put this on the tap water for a second, and we're going to conclude this section of the video. So what I'm doing is I'm just rinsing that cup out, and now what I want to do is I want to put tap water in here from the city of Tempe. I'm going to use those same pH test liquid drops. I'm putting the same one drop in the water, and let me show you the pH difference. See how that water, and it's very hard to see, it's barely a faint green color, which is exactly that 7.0 right here, okay? The whole key to why you want to drink alkaline water and not drink acidic water is because on this pH scale, you need to move in that direction. It's very, very important. Now, when we shoot part 3 of this video here, I'm going to explain exactly on this pH chart why this is so important. So make sure you tune in, because this is very, very important, and you don't have to be an organic chemistry major to understand this. It's very easy, but a lot of people, they aren't taught this, or quite frankly, they were taught it and they don't really remember it because they don't know how to apply it to real life, okay? So part 3 of this video, I'm going to go into exactly this discussion, okay? So again, thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Joe Brown. Don't forget to subscribe to the videos and you'll get all these videos for free, okay? Alkaline water discussion, and we're just going to kind of pick up from where we left off here, okay? And again, I'm doing this in parts because if you guys missed something, I don't want you to have to go through a whole video. You can go right to that part of the video that is what you're missing here, okay? So what we were just talking about here was the differences in pH here and why this is important, okay? So quickly, what I want to discuss with you, so you have at least a basic understanding of this, is that why is it so important to get alkaline? Okay, the bottom line is that the more acidic you are, you have an increased chance of bacterial infections, viral infections, cancer. Your immune system doesn't work as well, etc., etc. Okay, so obviously it behooves you to become alkaline, right? the more alkaline you are, those infection type processes cannot exist in the human body. All right, very, very difficult for bacteria, virus, cancer cells to thrive in an alkaline environment. They thrive very good in an acidic environment. That's why you want to quit drinking reverse osmosis water. Now here's what I want to also go over with you so you understand this. If you are drinking tap water, for example, which is approximately 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, if you stop drinking tap water and you start drinking alkaline water, which is coming out of this spout, remember, okay? If we can shift the pH of that alkaline water up to 8, up to 9, up to 10 or 10.5, a lot of people have said to me over the course of many years, they said, Dr. Joe, I don't understand. You're only moving the pH 1 point or 2 points or 3 points. What the hell's the difference? Here's the difference. Keep in mind that when you're moving from a 7 to an 8, that's a 10-fold increase of pH. So if I'm taking your pH at 7 and I'm moving you up to 10 or 10.5, that's a 30-fold increase of pH. Okay? Now, if you're the type of person who's drinking reverse osmosis water this entire time, if your pH is down here in the 3.0, 3.5 region, remember, you should be at a bare minimum of up here in the neutral area. Okay, so if your pH is down here in the 3.0, 4.0 region, you're a 30-fold increase in the wrong direction. And so if your pH if this is what you're doing on a daily basis, you're eating a lot of meat, you're having a lot of coffee, you're drinking reverse osmosis water or filtered water, you are putting an acidic pH into the stomach, which is exactly what it needs to create bacterial, viral, cancer type infections that you don't want, and your immune system is not going to work as well, okay? So I wanted you to at least understand the whole pH dynamic of this, because many people just don't understand, or they didn't take chemistry class, or they never took upper level chemistry classes, and they think that this is like foreign NASA fly to the moon science. It's very, very simple. Bottom line is that you want to be very alkaline and you don't want to be acidic. When you are acidic, you're putting yourself at more chance of risk for all these different diseases, okay? Now, here's the second part of this that I want to cover. Earlier, when I was explaining to you that the water is going around these 7 ionizing plates, okay? It's pulling negative ions in one direction, positive ions in the other direction, okay? And so the thing that you need to remember with this is that water is what's made up of many different molecules all stuck together, okay? And those water molecules are what we call macroclustered, all right? But when the water is coming around these plates, and it is pulling negative ions in one direction, positive ions in the other direction, it is splitting these water molecules apart, which means these big macro clusters of water molecules, because it's pulling the ions in different directions, it is splitting the water molecules into smaller molecules called microclusters. Why is that important? Because when you are drinking 9.5 water and it's pulling those ions in different directions and it's splitting that water into smaller clusters, when you are taking your vitamins, you are going to absorb your vitamins much, much quicker. And even if you're not taking vitamins, which you should be, you will be hydrating yourself 10 times faster by a minimum than if you were drinking tap water or especially RO water, okay? Now, let's go through the different medical grades of water here for a second. Now, as you can see here, in this purple area, the purple represents the alkaline water. You have 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5. Why are these 3 pHs on here like this? Because people who have had a very bad diet sometimes cannot start drinking a very alkaline water. So this is meant to kind of start people at 8.5. A few days to a week later, you go up to 9.0, and eventually you get up to 9.5 or 10.0, 10.5, like what I just showed you, okay? So ultimately, you want to be drinking a minimum of 9.5 water, all right? Now, if you are somebody who is taking different pharmaceutical medication, you want to make sure that you are clicking this machine to
clean water.
Clean water, okay? And again, anytime you push these buttons, it's going to tell you right up here in this area exactly what kind of water and what pH you're going to be getting. So if you are somebody who is taking pharmaceutical medications, remember, the water is going to be going from the tap right here. It's going to go in from this line into the machine. Is going to pass through this filter a number of times, which is taking out your lead, your chlorine, your heavy metals. But when you have this on medication 7.0 function, the clean water area, you will not pass the water by those plates in the back of this machine, all right? And the reason why that's important is that many medications that they make today, the medication is meant to absorb in your body within a certain amount of time. That's the reason why they make medication in a delayed format, or if you're taking Tylenol or you're taking something that is an extended release pain medication, diabetic medication, thyroid medication. I mean, there's hundreds of medications that if you're taking those are supposed to, once you swallow that pill, they're supposed to stay in your body for a certain period of time so it has the effect it's supposed to have, okay? So if you're taking medications, drink your medications with 7.0 water, all right? But if you are taking vitamin supplements, click this back to 9.5.
Water 9.5.
And I want you taking your vitamin supplements with the 9.5 water, all right? Now, let's go down here to acid function.
Beauty water.
This acid button, also known as beauty water, is exactly a pH 6.0. Now, when women go and spend $50 on toner creams because you guys want to look very beautiful for us men, and we appreciate it, okay? The reason why those toner creams work, there's nothing magical in a toner cream or some of this beauty products that you guys go and spend $30, $40, $50, $80 on at the different expensive stores. The reason why those creams work so well is because those creams are exactly at a pH 6.0, okay? So if you don't want to go out and spend $50 every month on toner creams, all you got to do is click this to acid, and it's going to force 6.0 acid water right out of this spout right here. You can go down to the dollar store, get some kind of little plastic spray bottle. You can capture the 6.0 water, and you can put it on your face before you go to bed. For you men, you can, after you're done shaving, you can actually put the water on your face, and it will open up your pores and help get all that debris out of your skin, just like if you went and spent money on acne products or any of the stuff they're selling on TV, infomercials and stuff like that, okay? Now, the last function of this machine here, okay, and I kind of saved this for last for a reason. If you look back here on this machine, and so we're going to slowly zoom in again here. If you look at this function, it's called strong acid water, okay? This is a pH 2.5, and if you notice here, it says sanitary, all right? Now, the reason why somebody would click this to strong acid water, for two reasons. One, because when you do that, it is going to create 2.5 pH water out of this spout right here. This is your acidic spout, okay? So 2.5 water will come out of this spout, but because a pH scale goes from 0 to 14, when you are getting 2.5 water out of this spout, you're getting 11.5 water out of this spout naturally, all right? That's important for two reasons, all right? Now, number one, when you make the 2.5 water, so a lot of people say, well, why was this machine invented in the first place? And a lot of people think it was invented because of this alkaline water pH for health. It actually wasn't. It was actually invented because of this 2.5 function right here, all right? Japan, so this machine is made from Japan, okay? That's where all the parts come from. That's where the entire company is based from, Japan, and they have subunits all over the world to sell these machines to different countries. In Japan, they have always been on the leading edge or the cutting edge of, instead of putting someone on a pharmaceutical medication because they have a common cold or they're sick, let's do acupuncture, let's drink green tea, let's do some kind of herbal remedy of some sort. Well, the co-inventor of this machine is a Japanese guy, okay? And he works 50% of the time here in America, and he works 50% of the time in Japan. And one of the things he realized was that if we keep spending money on cleaners for countertops, floors, beds, things like that, number one, we're spending a lot of money on these harsh, toxic chemicals, but also, why would we keep spending money on these harsh chemicals if we alter the pH of 2.5? If we alter the pH of the water down to 2.5, it will actually kill MRSA on contact, okay? MRSA is one of the worst bugs we have in the hospital that actually end up killing people. So if you can kill MRSA and different infections on your countertops, your floors, your beds, your different areas of your house or your hospital, why would you ever buy bleach or vinegar or any of these harsh chemicals that are anywhere from $3, $5, $10 a gallon or a quart of this stuff? You can make essentially chlorine bleach water right out of this machine, clicking this to 2.5, it's going to come right out of this spout right here, okay? The other part of that here, and this is kind of where we're going to end this discussion here, is that when you are making 2.5 out of this spout here, you are forcing 11.5 out of this spout. The reason why I saved this for last is because ultimately, this is the reason why I bought my machine, and eventually I bought two of them. When you go to the grocery store, your farmer's market, Sprouts, Whole Foods, or any grocery store on the face of the planet, most of our foods are foods that have been sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. And so what do? We go to the grocery store, we put the stuff in our car, we go home, we turn on our tap water, we rinse off our apple, our cucumber, or whatever, and then we eat it, right? Well, the problem with that is that these pesticides and herbicides, many years ago, almost 13, 14 years ago, the farmers started putting this organic, waxy pesticide chemical in there. So when they spray the pesticides all over your fruits and vegetables, this waxy residue, this organic wax essentially, sticks the pesticides to the tomatoes, to the cucumbers, to the fruits and vegetables, okay? And so when you are washing your cucumbers and your apples and your whatever you bought in tap water, reverse osmosis water, or any other kind of water does not rinse off those pesticides because it is an organic, waxy substance that is unpenetrable to water, okay? So the reason why I ultimately bought this machine, and this is something that you can see in a demo, we do the demos here at the office, when my patient care coordinator does these, but ultimately this is what made me buy the machine. I had cancer 17 years ago. I don't plan on having cancer again, so I'm going to do everything in my power to take vitamins, to eat healthy, and to avoid these toxic chemicals. When you are making 11.5 water out of this spout, if you take your fruits and vegetables, put them in a bowl, and soak them in 11.5 water, this is so alkaline, it will strip those pesticides and herbicides right off your fruits and vegetables. So literally, if you soak your fruits and vegetables for about 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes at the very most, and you pull your vegetables out of that water, excuse my language, but that water is going to look like piss. Okay, it's going to look like yellow urine. And the reason why I bought this machine after I seen that, literally the very next morning, was because I have no intention of drinking all that pesticides every single time I eat a fruit or vegetable. Okay, so I hope this helped you. And again, we kind of did this in a number of different video parts here because I wanted you to have all the information. And again, I hope that helped you, but essentially this was kind of the lecture on the SD501, the Kangen alkaline water, acidity versus alkaline. If you have any questions, you're more than happy to email me or call me. I'm trying my best to get back to everybody who's sending me emails. And again, if you want our daily free videos, don't forget to subscribe, because once you subscribe, you're getting these daily free health videos on topics that you or somebody else has asked me to cover, okay? So don't forget to subscribe. I hope that helped you. Have a good day.